Chair Shots Wrestling's Entertainment. Campeones, turning point for pro wrestling. AEW fans are smarter and have more money than WWE fans, and weaknesses breeding uniquenesses. All this and more in the room where it happens, but first, Mischief. Tell them what to do, Papa.
So you see, what you do is you go to the little corner, you hit the little thing, you subscribe, you hit like, you let them know Too Sweet that, baby, we here for you.
No nice things that happen.
Talk to them. Hit us up on SoundCloud, hit us up on Spotify, hit us up on YouTube, hit us up everywheres. Everywheres?
Everywheres.
Mm-hmm.
Where is everywheres, man? We are in parts unknown right now. We are in the new headquarters, new look, new feel.
We're trying new things. We're trying new things, baby.
Some of the bad guys got lost on the way. It's alright.
Yo,
it happens. It's a
it was
new
raining
route.
something crazy all of a sudden.
Gave us the wrong coordinates. So,
the coordinates didn't change. What do you mean? I didn't change coordinates.
It's the GPS's fault.
It's the PPS.
The PPS.
If you got a PPS problem, what you drinking on? You drinking on water?
Agua. I gotta
water?
Because it's too hot this week. Boy, was this past 2 weeks, because it's been 2 weeks since the bad guys has formally graced you and blessed you with the wrestling content, no bullshit, that you guys deserve on a weekly fucking basis. It's been lit. The bad guys have gone to AEW Dynamite. The guys have gone to Grand Slam. We were there. That's right. We were fucking there.
Drunk.
Wrestling itself
In case you
was
didn't
a turning point, and that's just all we're gonna talk about tonight. Is the turning point of wrestling, of professional wrestling. Now in today, who's leading? Before who's leading on the running the ropes? What are you?
Hold on. Just in terms of this guy, bro. Pero deja hablar. ¿Tú no dejas hablar? Yo, how is there less people but more words? Huh? How we do this? Nah. See, it is a turning point, and it's a turning point for many a reason. You kind of touched upon the whole Dynamite and the bad guys being there live, but the fact of the matter is, it is a turning point. Your fans are coming back. Hey, yo, TJ in the building. Yo, they're coming back, and it's getting live. Like, the reason you watch wrestling and the reason you love it is coming back, and that's the fans. Yo, don't forget that a lot of times it's real easy to sit on your couch and be like, blah, 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 this shit don't work, this shit is whack, this shit is not popping. And then all of a sudden, you see a roaring crowd behind it. And now, not to say that Omega and Brian Danielson, damn, will I ever get that right? Or will that just be something I fuck up for the rest of the life?
That's gonna be a thing that's gonna fuck with me. Don't ask me to spell that shit.
Yeah, it's the same letters.
No, it's not.
Son?
It's different syllables.
Syllables.
I put the wrong emphasis.
But not only was that match really freaking good, and we're gonna talk about that, but that crowd. And that's the turning point. We're gonna talk about like what it's gonna be like. That's what it's gonna be like moving forward. Again, not taking away from the match, because the match was stellar, and the card. If you want to talk about Booker of the Year award being a legitimate thing, like, this is where that idea comes from a show like Grand Slam, just booked top to bottom. If I could just talk about Grand Slam for a second, yo, son, 62-year-old Sting looking like an icon. What? Did he not look good?
For real.
So hold on.
Give it up, because it's been something that we should have been seeing, and I don't feel like I'm looking at an Undertaker match or a Goldberg match or a Has-Been match. Like, he comes out and it's like, okay, he's doing enough to get himself over and make it believable. Like, holy shit.
And believable,
and
but
Grand Slam, the match itself, the extra shit, money, bro.
I'm gonna bring this shit back up later, but this Sting match was booked to perfection, right? You said he got over exactly what he needed to get over to be credible, right? Believable, whatever. But like, remember his age and remember his contemporaries and what we say about people that age and how they look in the ring. We did not say that about Sting. And this is probably, I mean, he's been in the ring already, but this is the first time that like I can say, like, damn, is he a main event character? No, but where he's at right now, like that was entertaining. I was entertained. And it was the mystical shit that Sting has always been about. So, turning point indeed. A lot of old faces coming fresh and new. A lot of what we missed most about wrestling coming back. Man, what a time. What a time to be a fan, baby.
What a time.
So, JR said this, and this is how you know we're in the midst of it, right? And I say this prefacing that I know JR works for AEW, so your point is always to sell your man, all right? And AEW's your man. They butter your biscuit. You better talk good about them no matter what. That's right. No matter.
Wave that flag.
He said right now, what up, King Corey?
Hey, Corey with the subby. What's good? Shocking the system. Baby, appreciate that.
AEW roster right now is more talented than the Attitude Era. That's what came out of JR's mouth. Now, again, I know who butters your biscuit, and you've always just spoken good about it. Except he was honest about the dives, and he was honest about the flippy shit. I mean, I think he was pretty obvious about that. But that's a big...
I don't know. That's like to me, that's like a buttering the cake after it's already nice and and baked. Like you adding the cream filling, the frosting on top of the cake or whatever. You don't need to say all that, because to be honest, the Attitude Era, NXT.
You put the inside thing on the outside thing.
To put the outside thing on the emphasis. See, the emphasis is fucking me up tonight, and I'm just on water. So imagine that. I think you say that, but NXT has been talented.
Turning point.
They've been more talented than that Attitude Era. The Attitude Era wasn't talented as much as more as entertaining.
You know what? Talent is
compared to now.
Talent. The word talent is not a singular thing. Talent doesn't necessarily mean, and you could argue against it. Actually, it does not mean an athletic talent.
For in-ring work,
it's a package, right? Like it's a package, and hey, right. The Attitude Era had really good packages.
Yeah, I hear that for sure.
Maybe.
That's facts.
I mean, they did.
But you said something.
I said something. I say a lot.
You said turning point, and turning point sounds a lot like my guy Ricky Starks, the man who is leading the running the ropes tonight, the cardio for this evening. My guy Ricky Starks says that WWE insults their audience, and they kind of get away with it. I mean, fam, you've been saying this now? Like, I mean, right now is when the interviews come. Now is when the reporters and the newspaper articles come. Want to get your story, want to get you quoted, right? Because all the noise y'all making. I feel you, I dig it. But listen here, it sounds like he's talking from experience here. Even though for people who haven't followed wrestling, there's people on the show that you can connect to because they're authentic personalities. And I think watching it, there's something for everybody here. So having new viewers like Nisha or someone who's falling back into wrestling, AEW provides that sweet spot. Watch it, you'll have fun. They won't have you feeling guilty. I could vibe with that. Because, it's kind of like eating McDonald's. You take a bite and then after you feel regret, fam. Like, it's like, damn.
Yo, I'm just...
I had that chicken sandwich.
I'm just sitting here looking for the lie. Where's
the lie?
Where's the lie? Where's that? Hello? Hey, yo, I don't see not one lie, not one time, not even a little bit, not even half of one. Yo, there is no lie there. How many times are we just sitting there watching Raw like, what is this? Now, this Raw was actually pretty good. I gotta say, the entire Raw was pretty good. I thought it was well booked. And I'm going to say that's a product of competition. Competition make you do some things.
Thingy dongies and stuffs with the S at the end. Listen, Ken, you're in for a treat if you're watching just now. Kenny and Brian was a 10 for 10 out of 10. I hear that. You're right about that, man.
Back to Kenny and Brian real quick. All right, that's it. That's all I want to say.
That was it.
Woo!
And it's like AEW just keeps knocking it out of the park. They keep doing things that are just unprecedented. You start a Dynamite. This is their Raw, right? Their showcase show on television. You start it with a classic, and you give us the ill finish, the sloppy finish there at the end. Beautiful, because we want more.
The
I
dusty
love it.
finish.
I'm not even mad at you about it.
The sloppy finish is something different.
I mean, right.
I don't think you're looking for a sloppy finish. It's never a fun time.
But it's still unprecedented, right? And keeping in the vibes, it's like you're right. You don't feel that guiltiness in watching it. You don't feel dumb. You feel rewarded. And let's keep it there. Let's keep it at rewards because they just fucking rewarded wrestling. AEW keeps rewarding wrestling. If they didn't just bring back the fans, if they didn't just bring freedom to Daniel Bryan's contract, they just partnered up and created something called the Owen Hart Foundation Partnership.
The Owen Hart Foundation did exist, but they
formed the partnership.
They formed the partnership.
Right. Words, sentences.
They formed a partnership with the Owen Hart Foundation. There's going to be a tournament likely called the King of Hearts. Would this be the new King of the Ring? Would it not be? No matter what you say?
There's just so much to unbox in this fucking Pandora box that we just opened here.
Talk about it.
Because now, you get the tournament, and now we're already comparing King of the Ring to Owen Hart's tournament. So let's talk. Let's do that. But Owen Hart, man, you're not gonna get his content in the video game. Owen Hart action figures, for some may not be a thing, but for us collectors is a big fucking deal. Who have been trying to get our hands on some classic Owen Hart memorabilia. Now we get that. This is stuff that, like, this is big. This is
pretty
big time,
fucking
bro.
cool.
It's
really, really cool. The fact that it's coming out, like, they finally got, Miss Hart's okay. I forgot her name. Martha. I forgot. But she said okay to it. She's down. I mean, I think it was just like an anti-Vince thing. If you saw Dark Side of the Ring, that's kind of where they at. So I'm just happy it's happening. I'm happy that, like, it's something that people can talk about positively, because literally the last memory we have is that for years. If Dusty passed, right? I mean, clearly it was not under the same circumstances. But he passed. And then there were things afterwards that kind of reflected the person he used to be, right? Or the person he was, the person you remember, right? Dusty Classic and blah, blah, blah. And, like, those things kind of live on. And then, like, all the various donations he made to wrestling over time, like fucking War Games and shit like that. But,
oh, my God, War Games.
Like, and all those, like, pay-per-views and whatever and booking decisions. But, the last thing we have from Owen Hart is his death, and then things covering his death, and that's just unfortunate. And then now, like, this is just a really cool thing to happen, now we got, like, toys that reflect, like, a new beginning, a turning point, if you will, in the Hart legacy.
We just started this AEW shit related coming through.
Let's talk about my eyes.
These toys,
is that creepy or what?
They're gonna have the AEW logo, not the WWE logo.
Right.
And that alone is that action figure. Good luck getting that shit.
That's just gonna sell out mad quick.
I'm already online. I'm hitting up Shout outs to fucking Ringside Collectibles. I'm gonna get my shit. I'm gonna talk to my guy Grim. Shout outs to Grim. Coming through, related going off. The glasses are cool.
Yo, but it is like in so now Owen Hart, like we get to really like just have a whole new beginning with him. The turning point is everywhere. It's kind of like we're coming into fall, which is like historically the end of things, where the end is near and like winter is coming. And like dark times are upon us, but it doesn't feel that way for wrestling. I feel like this is the spring of wrestling. Like we're really seeing this growth and burst and turning point, and everything's new and everything's fresh. Unless you're Cody Rhodes in New York.
Oh.
Which, see, like what I love about New York crowds, the New York, New Jersey crowd, is that we let you know how we feel. No bullshit. Boo with your Americana. This motherfucker's long ass cape. Esa vaina, yo, that shit was still in the locker room. He was already in the ring. Bro, for what? Tripping motherfuckers up for what? All up in the back. Just obstructing the gorilla position. Pa qué? Pa qué, maning? Fucking blocking traffic up fucking Madison Avenue and shit. For what? For what?
No, they don't
for the
know.
pageantry of your Bleach Bronze intro? For that? To do what? Can y'all, I mean, why did Brandy get in the ring and give him, like, flip the birds? What was that about?
Hey, she's trying to be edgy, man. They gotta sell content for that new show that's dropping.
How did that feel to you?
The Roads or what's something Roads? I don't know.
Something Roads.
Something Kaka sandwich. You know what?
Hold on.
Trash!
Listen to this trash!
Trash bags!
Yo.
Trash bags!
Yo, I say.
Sandwich!
You know what?
Kaka sandwich.
Let me in, bitch.
Nah, yo, that's it. HPC of the week is gonna change, right? To heels, pops, and that shit is trash.
Hey, trash bag!
And we gonna do that shit.
Trash! Nick Aldis promo. Trash! We out here though.
I mean, if you're talking about what Arthur Ashe Stadium smelled like, then yeah.
Oh my God!
I heard from a variety of sources that like expired mayonnaise.
We were there, Mischief, so you already know.
I'm just saying, like it wasn't just us. You dig? Like it was like expired mayonnaise was a phrase used to describe the you know how it affected your olfactory system. You know what I mean? That olfactory you call a nose, that shit was bugging out, cause it should stank. And that fucking, you saw the train ride afterwards? It was worse.
No nice things. No nice things. COVID was all up in there. Shout out to COVID.
It wasn't even.
Wild.
Shit was just onion bags.
Delta was there chilling. He was having a fest, chilling with everybody in that train.
Onion bags.
I'm doing well though. I'm doing well.
I'm happy for you, bro.
Yeah, doing very well.
Cool.
Coping steady. But someone who's not doing so well, Mr. Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. Woo! Mr. Flair no está so bueno. He had some allegations over last week's episode of Dark Side of the Ring. Shout outs to Dark Side of the Ring dropping tonight. Actually, right now, I'm actually recording it so I can watch it without commercials. That's the way of the wave. That's how we do things. You already know. But Ric Flair is saying it never happened. No fui yo. What do you do when they catch you in a lie? No fui yo.
Hi, Shaggy.
No fui yo.
It wasn't me. Motherfucker came out here. He thought that fucking Cheeto commercial was gonna be real.
He puts the blame on the ESPN 30 for 30 dude talking about, oh, he already covered all my shit. So if it's not on there, it's a lie. It's a lie.
Bro, I mean, shut up, Rick. Shut up. Like, it's more than...
Lawyers told him to shut up.
At this point, like, it's more than just this fucking thing. Like, it's more than just Dark Side of the Ring. You know, this has been something that's been talked about for a very goddamn long time. It's not like there's been consequences or repercussions throughout his whole career. Is it, like... crybaby shit? Nah, man. Like, that shit is real. That lady has to wake up every day dealing with that shit. Shit ain't cool, man. So to be like, yo, that shit is a lie, la 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 la. When you got like Shane Douglas out here, he's got videos from way back, clips from way back talking about like explicit things that he saw and he broke up and he interrupted. Ric Flair whipping his dick out at a bar, fucking swinging around like a helicopter. Apparently that's like his finishing move or some shit. That motherfucker has that shit as a signature. Fucking Predator.
Oh
He
my
fucking came out
God.
and he fucking did that shit. And then he and he did it on top of a woman. Like he had the woman on the floor. He pinned her like to the ground.
Yo,
And then
Dark
she
Side
was
covers
she
all
was
that
like
shit.
she was like that. So Shane Douglas talked like, yo, for years, none of this shit is new. None of this is new. None of this is new. You don't doubt. But there was never anything done about it.
It's just people putting the magnifying glass on it now, and it's it's a little too late for Flair.
Reap what you
Flair's
sow.
dirty laundry's been aired. Oof.
You reap what you
everywhere.
sow, right?
Yeah. It's
So, I mean,
he
eventually
lived
that shit
lifestyle.
was
He
gonna.
lived that gimmick, man.
Love
Shout
it.
outs to the full right now, but and it's a lot of people. You said it right yourself. A lot of people were talking about it. That was the talk. Dark Side got people talking.
Sure did.
And they're gonna have people talking after this week too. Shout outs to the Chris Canyon episode. It's gonna be a very heavy-hearted. It's a great show though. You should definitely check it out. Moving on to more things that people talk about, and it's the success of AEW.
Oof.
My oh my, do these guys have it all? They're shooting on all cylinders. Hong Rang after Hong Rang after Hong Rang. Herbal in the house, what's goody? Listen, man, AEW, I'm not gonna lie, they killing it. They got Daniel Bryan, they got CM Punk. They're killing the game right now.
You
They
know
talk
what?
of the town.
It's not even who they got, bro. It's how they use them.
That's how they use it.
It's how they use them.
But the hype helps, right? And then you get the
Sure.
guys that come out and they're ready to see blood, mischief. These guys is ready to like fucking, like the death of WWE is here. That's it. I don't want to hear it, Vince. You're done. Nobody's watching your whack ass product. That's it. It's a wrap. Mr. Khan. Got one thing, just one little bit of news I'm gonna drop for y'all, and then we're gonna move on, Mischief. Is WWE returns this year for the sixth event in the Saudi Arabian government on October the 21st. Each event is worth 50 to $55 million in payments to the WWE, which is more than AEW will likely be paid all year for its TV deal. Five events sold so far, they total more than the tickets sales for every WrestleMania combined.
And that's why
37, my guy.
and that's
Top
why
that right there. You can read that.
we're gonna have several Saudi Arabian pay-per-views a year eventually. It's gonna be like 2 or 3 a year. Oh, the Saudi tour.
Fuck yeah.
Bro, how could you say no to that money? And like, yo, it's blood money, blah blah blah. How they clearly don't care about that part.
Shit.
They clearly, we're beyond that. We told them that. They know that. They're like, we know. They
know.
killed the journalist. I just shut up. We got it. They cashed that check. You think they're gonna stop cashing checks just because you're angrier? It kept going. They kept going. They don't care about the fans like that, and that goes back to the comment that Ricky Starks made. Right?
Yo, facts. That McDonald's feeling afterwards. McDonald's stomach.
Goes back to the other comment that Tony Khan made.
Ooh, metrics. He talking metrics.
You
My guy talking.
You talking metrics, right? Isn't Tony Khan like head of the sports analytics shit in his companies?
When I spell it, it's dirty though.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Analytics. When I spell it, it's dirty.
Anal licks it. I feel you.
Yeah, it's dirty.
So he's gonna apply that shit to wrestling, and like he found a bunch of statistics. Now all of that has to be prefaced with the fact that like Bias alert. He owns AEW and he's running the statistics.
Money
Take
must be
that
nice.
with a grain of salt, right? Like, know what you're getting off the bat. But apparently, statistics show they've grown immensely, which is a no-brainer. But they are leading in several major factors. Now, what those major factors and major categories are, he didn't really go into detail. But
he does bring up opportunity, though, and kind of the fact that he's, you know, opening the doors to talent you don't see on TV. So, but there is an interesting stat.
No lies.
Two interesting stats that we will definitely pick out and talk about later in the bumps tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get there though. But we got some beef to settle here.
Not with me, bitch.
Shout outs to Kit and Corey was mentioning this earlier, but the Undertaker is not so popular these days, man. He just keeps getting worse and worse. But before I get into this bad rep of the Undertaker, he has got a show coming out with the New Day. That shit's gonna be kind of lit. Kind of like it.
Oh, the Netflix.
The Netflix shit. Yeah, that's what's up.
That like
it's like interactive thing, whatever.
Every time I see that shit on Netflix, it reminds me of like, remember those Goosebumps books? You
Oh,
to
yes.
like choose your journey and shit.
Yes.
Jump to page 57. You're like, you died. Go back to the beginning. You're like, damn.
We're not old. You're old.
Damn.
The Undertaker's old, and according to Rene Dupree, he's not old. He's just complaining about Undertaker allowing people to defecate and urinate on his flag in the back locker room area in between matches. Yo, that's fucked up. That's kind of racial profiling, isn't it?
Well, because he did it to Rene Dupree's flag. So, like, yeah, right? Man, you know, it just goes to show you there's just a certain kind of person that does certain kinds of things. Hey. And sometimes it's really easy to racially profile racial profilers.
Fairness, though, it's just very...
lies. I'm just looking.
No. It's not that it's lies. It's just, but it's very
herbal magic. Yeah.
Convenient. Very convenient that he used the phrase "don't sell," because it's what they told him to do backstage. So they said, "Don't sell it." And Dark Side of the Ring is very loud this week, especially last week's episode where we learned that's exactly what they told their talent too after the plane ride. Don't sell it. Don't sell it. Looks like Don't
sell it.
This was the way of the life back then, bro. And then
Jake Hudson,
people are just suffering from it. Like Tommy Dreamer, who just got pulled from Busted Open Radio. Also, that's the next thing too, man.
Yo,
he got pulled.
I want to sidebar on Tony Dreamer. What? All right, Tommy Dreamer. Man, did I like you, man? I love Tommy Dreamer. I always felt like this fat fuck, like, yes, like, look like me, motherfucker. Like, you not, like, in shape. You're not, like, you're just a tough dude. Like, you know. Damn. Like, I always just had a liking to Tommy Dreamer. And how flippant he was about everything.
Damn.
That one comment, like, he was like, you know, my hair is offending somebody right now. I understand the greater point he's trying to make, right? Like, people are too sensitive, PC culture, rah, rah, rah. But, like, we're talking about contextually sexual assault.
That left her psychologically scorned, like,
we're not talking
to say the least.
Right. We're not talking about a shitty barber. We're talking about my man's, like, pressing her up with his dick in a helicopter, because that's just a Ric Flair thing, apparently, that everybody's cool with. You know what I mean? Even Ric Flair commented, Ric Flair, stop talking. But RVD commented, and RVD said something to the effect of, like, I never saw anything, like, directly. He's like, I never really had anything to do with that. And even in the footage, he was like, I didn't see it. But he also said that it was edited a certain kind of way. It was edited a certain kind of way to seem a certain kind of way. So, take that for what you will. Either way, Tommy Dreamer's just so kind of casually, just kind of like, you know, my hair. Like, dog, that shit was nasty, dog. So, I'm just mad disappointed. Like, that shit is so whack that it was
It's-
like that it's like that it was like that. You know what I mean? Like, just like all of it kind of sucks.
It's almost like it bothered him to have to reiterate it, right? Because I mean, I'm sure this is not something that they've fucking had to address the first time, right? So it felt like this is something like he's like telling you in a sense like, guys, like blah 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 blah, whatever he said, right? In that kind of tone, like he was tired of saying it again and again, like it was so dismissive. Like, and that's pretty much what I like. That I could see, yo, crazy. That's where the problem lies. But hey, wrestling has forgiven him apparently. Shout outs to Jericho.
Oh, Jericho's
Let's
like, I forgive you. I mean,
Yeah.
Tommy, why do I keep fucking his name? See, I don't even want to say his name anymore.
It doesn't work. You can't say his name.
My
anymore.
brain's
It's
like, yo, stop mentioning that man, yo. He's whack. That shit sucks, bro. Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Joe, who the fuck is Jericho to be like, I forgive you, dog? Yo, you dickhead. Shut up, man.
Oh man. Bryan Danielson, in other news, eats tree sperm.
That's a headline.
That's a headline.
Can we? This clip is named Daniel Bryan eats tree sperm.
Tree sperm. Apparently, to
And
him,
so do you.
his vegan diet that he's casually
lot.
going back into now, because I remember he stopped, and then I guess he's gonna do it now again.
Whatever. Long story short is that fruits are sperm. Nerd, just eat your damn fruit. Why you gotta say that? I ain't gonna be eating no tree nut. Yeah. Yo, you want these nuts? Yeah, like, no, I guess, maybe. I don't know. I like apples. Like, now what? Now what? I'm supposed to look at apples the same way? That just wasn't, like, I wasn't jiving with that before. Why would I, like, now it's cool. All right, well, I guess I'm into tree semen.
Oh, my God.
I like, apparently I like tree semen juice.
Tree semen juice, hey. I mean, I drink the juice rather than eat the fruit. That's what she said. That's how they produce other trees. Most fruits are semen. Real fruits are semen because they contain the seed inside of them. In theory, that has to be planted into the ground for another tree to grow. That's quote unquote Daniel Bryan. Holy shit. Holy shit and right. And speaking of shit, CM Punk believes that he can agree with you on the one hand that Hulk Hogan is a bigger star than Steve Austin, but he still thinks he is the piece of shit that he is.
Right. To CM Punk's greater point, right? He says it's all subjective. He's absolutely right, right? I've talked to a lot of people that, despite whatever happened, for a plethora of reasons, Hulk Hogan will forever be their favorite wrestler, right? Like, there's just no changing it. So
that's just how it works.
Yeah, maybe if you measured you did long-term statistics and you got everybody down, longitudinal studies, and you figured it all out, yeah, maybe Hulk Hogan is a bigger star. This is probably a bigger piece of shit. Like, there's a golden ratio to piece of shittiness and star power in Hulk Hogan's fucking case on his scale. Hulk Hogan, no matter what you do, you're still 3 times shittier than your star power.
Hogan comes from an era where they like to just keep the man down and keep guys with the spotlight and don't reach my level of stardom, right? He says, "Fuck that! I'm here at AEW to change that. I want to help them get there," and I guess he's doing that, right? Darby's on his way now. Who's next, right? That's the question. That's what he's here for. It's gonna work.
I mean,
good job.
I don't care.
AEW.
I don't care what they do with CM Punk. I really don't. I think they'll find something interesting. I mean, I like the Taz angle. And do you realize, like, we're not fully done with, like, even though CM Punk, like, beat Darby or whatever, that's not, like, a thing that's a closed book.
Right. That can go on for a bit, too.
Now we got all of Team Taz. We got, like, a couple things going on for CM Punk. The possibility of wrestling Sting. Because that was something that was mentioned once. It was you know what I mean? So, things that can happen that have nothing to do with a title, Nothing to do with like CM Punk is not at the top of the card. You realize this. You know what I mean? Like he's really. I mean, you could say Daniel Bryan and the champion opened the show, right? There's just fucking pre-show motherfuckers, but that was a booking decision. This is different. Like CM Punk, like hard lines that second act,
And the pop, right?
Yup.
Whose pop is louder though? His or Daniel's? Ooh, what's gonna happen when they both square off again?
I hope they take their time with that. I hope
No, that's something I want to see later and shit. And look at that. I have so much options at this buffet before we get to those kind of dream matches, right? Like, holy shit, man. These legends want to touch and square off against each other. He said Adam Cole.
baby.
CM Punk said Adam Cole, and oh my God, ROH legends right there. This is gonna be something to watch. AEW really hitting them out the park with so much talent joining in. Next guy up could be, drum please, Gran Metalik. Come on down. He asked for his release from WWE. Ya era bueno, ya estaba bueno, ya coño.
I'm surprised this didn't come sooner. I mean, what was he doing there?
Well, man, they not using you right.
Right, and then it goes just to deeper, like, what the fuck is WWE doing? Like, now, Roman Reigns is on 2 shows. Now, like, Bobby Lashley's on 2 shows. Now, like, you only have,
Remember
like, 6
draft?
wrestlers? Like, you only got 6 wrestlers now that are fucking on 2 shows doing shit? What's going on? Like, what's your roster looking like right now, dog? Like, what's your on-TV rotation looking like right now? What is it? Like, dead ass. What is it looking like?
Dead.
It's fucking...
Dead ass.
What are we talking
Dead,
about?
comma, ass.
Why aren't talented folk getting put on TV? I understand, like, yo, it's it's 2-way street. You got to be interesting to get put on TV, but you got to be given something interesting to be put on TV. You know what I mean? Like, it's a 2-way street. Yo, Naomi, where's she at? She got a little time, but, like, come on.
Like, here's a perfect example, man.
Tell me a perfect
AEW's
example.
getting it right. They're getting it right
Yes.
everywhere. Let me tell you.
Tell
I
me.
didn't like that women's championship that Britt Baker's carrying around. So you know what they did? Fuck it, we're gonna give you another one. We're gonna call it the TBS Women's Championship.
The TBS.
And that's what we're doing.
I know what it is already. I know what it looks like. Have you seen it?
Nah, I haven't seen it.
It's the first AEW Women's Championship.
Oh, is it?
Nah, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
They're gonna give you a bracelet. It's fucking
a
smaller.
secondary tier title to the original women's title. That's interesting here, right? Because I don't think I've seen, other than indies, other promotions as well, but like WWE doesn't have a women's intercontinental title, right? This would be the equivalent to that.
That's dope. Why
Yeah.
not? Their roster's deep. These
Yep.
women need matches. Like, they, God bless AEW Dark, but that's like 80 matches in an hour. It's fucking...
I want to see
intense.
them. I want to see them spread out the talent more. I want to see more storylines for different talent on different shows. But I understand what they're doing here, and they also have being the elite, and you guys got to do yourself the service of following with that and checking them out.
What?
Being the elite keeps you posted and updated
On a lot of things, but mostly like elite things, right? So like we're talking about like Young Bucks, Omega, right? Like the top of the card. Sometimes Cody Rhodes. Sometimes like whatever. The people in the main storylines are usually on it, right? This is like the top tier. Like Rusev isn't always on that shit. You know what I mean?
No.
Or Miro. Fuck, I keep doing that. But there's also like the 100 of other individual blogs and vlogs and posts, and in essence, that's the beauty of AEW, is that they allow people to do that. Carry this shit out. Sammy's got his vlog, right? Even like Fuego del
his vlog
Sol
successful before.
fucking has a blog. Motherfuckers use the internet to do storylines, right? Like motherfuckers on Twitter going back and forth, pushing shit forward. Nyla Rose is such a beast, the native beast, with her thumbs, dog. With her she is a savage.
Salvaje. Cata salvaje.
Dog, it's, you know what I mean? Like that's the beauty of it, and I think that's the part that like WWE doesn't grasp, is that if you allow your talent more freedom, like everybody wins.
Well, I feel WWE has been able to get away with sports entertainment for so long. And now, hopefully, that pro wrestling is knocking out the door and is coming out here and making noise. Who, by the way, claimed New York this past 24 hours ago with Eddie Kingston preaching to the fucking masses after the fact. They claimed New York, WWE. They claimed New York.
In only the way that Eddie Kingston would, could, and should. Tell me otherwise. What are you going to tell me? That they sold out Madison Square Garden, WWE? That, like, when they go to Barclays, they sell out? Like, alright, dog. Alright, a nerd. Alright. Oh, WWE actually, like, per capita makes more money. Like, alright, stop being such a dork. Look at, like, test the fucking wind, dog. Like, check it. The winds are changing. This shit is going in a different direction, and that's what we're talking about. Yeah, alright, yeah, WWE has more fines per square mile up my anus. Like, it's when we're talking about, like, in actuality, what it feels like is more important than statistics sometimes. It's called your gut. And when you look at it, and I got plenty of gut to go around, but when you look into your gut and you see what you see, and you feel, and you felt it at Arthur Ashe, not to say you didn't feel it at MSG, because when WWE was at MSG, you felt that shit too, no doubt. No doubt. But when you saw Arthur Ashe Stadium go crazy for Grand Slam, even just the opening fucking like 2 minutes of the show, that shit hit different. That's huge. And now you make tremendous booking decisions against a company that's not really interested in what creative feels like long term, because I'll just change the story tomorrow and I insult your intelligence, and what happens? Then that dumb fuck that Tony Khan was talking about, that loves the WWE product and is blind to it, he's just feeding him the same shit. That's the same. Yes. That's why before everything even came out, it was right in front of you, dog.
It's the same sandwich, my man.
It's the same. I see you in that sandwich. You don't need to know what's in it. It comes the same. Whether you know the ingredients or not. You want to order something else, that's another sandwich.
That's another sandwich.
Así no viene este sándwich. Es otro sándwich. Pídame otro. If you want another sandwich, go eat another sandwich. But if you're looking at wrestling that has got to be a certain thing, like, yo, everything is being really shaped up pretty well, packaged pretty good here in AEW. And then you look...
fan is a dangerous species.
Remember, all empires fall, dog. Windows, Microsoft was king, right? And someone came out with something shinier. It was a little nicer looking, not necessarily a better product, but it was shiny and new. And look what happened. Everyone's got an iPhone. I love iPhones. That's my jam.
And you can't really, truly fool anybody anymore, right? And especially now, the crowds have just adapted now. The game is different. It's all changed. Leading the bumps. That poor guy you were just mimicking, Mischief, sounded like he couldn't take a bump and never took a bump in his life. He's about to take one now because that guy surely has no college education, let alone $5 in his bank account. AEW fans, on the contrary, according to Tony Khan, spend a little more and educate themselves a little more, chances are, according to the statistics. The statistics. Making me think a lot.
Yo, change that fucking face mask. Yo, the eyes were doper, yo. That shit was fire. That shit is fire. I don't know about y'all, but that's dope. All right, relax. All right. Duh. That was the point. Duh. AEW fans are more educated. Without knowing that as a fucking statistic, again, a statistic that was researched by the guy who most benefits from a positive fucking study.
Right.
Just saying. But, you know, you could make numbers say whatever you want to say, and I'm not saying that they were good or bad. I don't know what they were like. I didn't run the study, but the fact of the matter is that he's gonna say what most benefits him. But even you put the data aside, if someone just casually said that to me, they just said, "Yo, I think like AEW fans are probably smarter. They're probably more educated." I would have guessed that too. I think that's pretty.
In terms of wrestling, yeah.
In terms of life, I feel like, yeah, I think you're dumb. I think if you watch WWE and you like getting branded by a fucking hot ass cast iron every fucking Wednesday, Monday and Friday. Well, at least Friday's alright, but every Monday
been
like
popping. I like what they're doing with Roman.
You like
Roman
that
is nice.
Go
It's a
ahead.
good field on SmackDown.
But
Gotta
just
admit.
as you interact with certain groups of people on the internet and you see who you were talking to and people are fans of what and what they comment on and like you're like, damn, these people are fucking dumb. And then you kind of say that about most of the internet, just generally. But when you break it down, you're like, yo, WWE fan. Hashtag WWE fan. Fan my whole life. Lifelong WWE. Like, it's not like wrestling fan. Oh, I'm a wrestling fan. No, I'm a WWE fan. I eat what they spit. That's my jam.
That's my jam.
That's my jam. Yeah, that's what I believe. So even before that statistic came out. And then with that being said, they make more money. Yeah, they're smarter. So, okay. So it makes sense to me. I didn't need to run the study that was a lie anyway. So yeah, I'm dumb. Stop being dumb.
I love the back and forth. I love the banter. I love the competition now, because this was not happening a couple years ago. We didn't have this.
To wrap that point up, the very end of it was like, yeah, people gonna be mad at that.
Yeah. He says that. He says, you can go ahead and be mad at that one too.
Yeah. He knew.
Mad at that one too.
He knew.
Uh-huh.
He was like, so jabs to your point.
He's just
Jabs.
Impact promo y'all right now.
Next Thursday on Dynamite. Next Thursday on Dynamite. Next Thursday on Dynamite.
I miss those, man. I miss them shits.
Tony Khan, man.
Oh man,
What's up with
guys. Marketing is not a weakness of Tony Khan. Let's just say that. He knows how to handle himself well in that regard. And he does very well.
Did you see how they marketed the New York shows?
Yeah.
They had street teams. Yeah, local street teams. Fucking put that shit up. They put they did like spray like chalk outline shit, like they did chalk shit. Promoting the show. That's so throwback. That's so New York. It feels like
it's so
like
New York. It is so New York.
It felt so home. Didn't it feel like home? Like it was just like, oh, this is like a local show. These motherfuckers been here.
If I said it once, I said it before. I say it again. I'll never stop saying it. It's always the little things, man, and it's the extra. It's always a little bit extra you do when you put into things, and that's just the thought that counts really to everybody that showed up to that show, because. If you know that little bit much changes the experience, and that's the difference between live shows and watching it at home, and that's the difference in watching a scripted wrestling program versus a movie with X-Men in it and tights.
What?
That blow shit up realistically. Speaking of guys that can do amazing shit like the X-Men, that's going to transition us into our next point, because our next guy's our next guy here, Suzuki-san, he has a special theory and believes one set over talent isn't over because he's the best overall player. He's not the best stud on the. You don't have a locker room full of 80 overall wrestlers in 2K statistics. Punch your numbers in, get your calculations in. It's not how it works. He's only over and he's only a stud when the man can't do amazing shit. When the man can't do shit at all. He likes the underdog. He likes the story of the underdog, the guy that can't fucking do a damn thing's licks will work, and him backing him and making him the star and the stud, getting him to the promised land.
I think more than anything else, we're talking about having a weakness. You know what I mean? Like going into it like being mortal. I think that's part of the story, right? You know what I mean? Like when you look at a story and everybody's like built like a god and they're the best, and it's like, yo, it's just titans clashing. You know what I mean? Like, all right, like that. All right, yeah, I want to see fucking Bryan Danielson, and I want to see Kenny Omega. Yeah, no doubt. Like that's gonna be a great match. But it doesn't need much story. You know what I mean?
You don't need story for that.
You don't need a lot of story. That's gonna be a great match. But that's not what wrestling usually is, right? Wrestling is usually story. Becky Lynch said this shit.
Great point. But sell me MJF and Brian Pillman without a story.
Even with the story.
To your point.
Yo, Brian Pillman, dog. Brian Pillman is Natalia. I want you to think about that for a second. It's a compliment.
He doesn't remind you as much as Natalia does that he's a heart.
Yo, for real. Oh my God, yes. It all makes sense now. They came from the same warehouse. They were fucking robots. Yo, it's crazy. Because he follows the script. He does exactly what he's supposed to do. I just believe none of it. He is not believable. Just like Natalia, like it does. I know, like they're cooperating. Like I know they're playing with each other. You know what I mean? Like
they're feeding each other advice.
MJF come in there, he's like, boom, and then like Brian Pillman's like, I was like, yo, the match just started. Why are you like hulking out? Like it's not. What's happening? It was not my favorite moment. So Brian Pillman gets no kudos from me, dog. I forgot who we were supposed to give kudos though. Who we talking about?
So Suzuki-san was the one that brought it up, and he's actually talking about Moxley here at the end of it. He talks about saying that the kids these days, you know, the kids, they were so wrapped up in those stats, but that's why they don't realize, even wrestlers in this industry don't realize today his point that Moxley's only great because the man can't do shit. He's an average guy. Jeans and the tank top. And he's about to fuck you up at the bar. So, I mean, hey, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. Mad as fact, some may call him the heel of the week for that.
Oh, here I am sitting here, listening to your thing, and I'm like, where's the lie? Where's the lie? It's about storytelling.
Yes.
Suzuki here is just, yo, he's verbalizing in just a different kind of way. The same shit we've always said, right? If you're a fucking god, if you're this great-ass wrestler, like you're impenetrable, you've got to be deceived. Like, yo, there's got to be a hole. You know what I mean? Like, he out-toughs. Yo, Suzuki's tough as shit. All right, but like, where's the weakness? There's a lot of weaknesses in his game plan, essentially, right? He's also old as shit, but he's still the man. But the fact of the matter is, like, he can out-tough you and he can beat the shit out of you, and he's credible that way. The fact that he is limited in some other ways makes him a credible actor in this movie, in this game.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing with Jon Moxley. Like, Jon Moxley is not a perfect wrestler. You know what I mean? Like, you know he's not going to give you technical prowess. Like, he's not going to go out there and put, like, sharpshooters on motherfuckers and fucking
punch you in the
flips.
face.
He's going to punch you in the face. You know what you're getting with that guy. He's just going to kick your ass. He's going to try to out-muscle you. But, like, if Bryan Danielson gets in there and, like, could out-tech him, I mean, he could be deceived, right? Kenny Omega has shown that he was able to be deceived. And it was... So, he's got vulnerabilities, right? Especially barbed wire matches that don't explode. Makes him vulnerable to the hugs of Eddie Kingston, which he has not been able to resist ever since. Let me just say that.
Ooh, that's one of my pops.
Whoa! Whoa, you still reliving that pop? Eddie Kingston
it's
and Moxley?
Eddie Kingston, yeah. No. Is his shout out to the crowd and his ownership, taking ownership of New York City this past week. Well, this last night, I guess, a few hours ago.
Right.
At Grand Slam. How about you, Mischief? Talk to me about the heels, the pops, and the chair shot of the week. Let's close them off. Let's send them home nice and smoothly.
Heel of the week. Yo, I was really digging everything Roman Reigns did on Monday. I thought Roman Reigns was really good. And I'm not gonna like really get into it because he's not my heel of the week, but he deserves. Yo, that match that was gonna be a pop of mine. So I might as well just spit that one out. Yo, Roman Reigns, Big E, Lashley was holy crap. Like that's big meaty men slapping meat.
Yo, good timing too. They need to do something, so they have something here. Let's get it going.
It was well booked, right? Lashley took the L. He's not a champion. Kind of keeping in your back pocket. Man, I can't wait to do that again sometime.
Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's get there, please. I like to put a picky, very nitpicky chair shot of mine this week. Was CM Punk's promo this week.
Ooh.
Yes, kill me, but the rust is there, guys. The rust is there.
Yeah.
If you guys clear off all the hype and all the love, and you actually look and see, he kind of I'm assuming that they told him he needed to be more serious, which makes sense, right? In lieu of his story or his new upcoming storyline with after getting jumped by Taz's boys. So he not only acknowledges and brings light to it, but he kind of wants to play both hands. He's doing too much here. He stays on it a little too much for me, and then he kind of backs up and piggybacks on that. He's like, but I love you fans. It's all love. It's a love fest here.
He's
but
not the
I'm
heel.
mad at you. But I'm mad at you.
Nah, don't see. You're dumb. See, you're one of those dumb fans.
I got that. I got that, bro.
Nah, dog. This is exactly.
Just because he said he wasn't gonna do it, it still didn't take that feeling from it.
So
I understand what he was trying to do, but it didn't help. It didn't work for me.
I think that was refreshingly honest.
It was.
What I saw.
I think more brutally honest than refreshingly.
Well, no, because I disagree because he made it into his thing. Like he was able to like get through it, and it was not like he got through it. I thought he did a good job. He conveyed emotion, he
more than got through it.
He more than got through it, and he fucking he didn't go through pits and valleys. Like he wasn't fucking hype as hell and mad and then happy like that. Like the crowd ate that shit up. They fucking popped big time, dog.
The crowd is a little biased. I'm not listening.
Yo,
to the
first of
crowd
all,
on
he's
the
from
Funko.
Chicago and fuck Chicago anyway. Shout out
And
to
their
Get
pizza.
Show Podcast. Anyway.
Hey, we gotta get your ass in here.
Get your ass.
Yo, and shout outs to New York Pizza. Shout outs to Flex. New York Pizza is better than yours. Shout out. We gotta have a taste test.
You gotta get water from the Hudson River. That's what it. That's
Fighters. Fuck Chicago Pizza.
Yeah, bring that shit to Chicago. You'll see it's the same.
Yeah. Other than that, it's been pops all week, bro. Wrestling's been at an all-time high for me, man. Oh man, Jericho coming out with his promo on not this week, but last week when we were there, cutting out, interrupting. What's this guy's name with the fighters? I always forget his name.
Lambert.
Yeah, Lambert. Dan Lambert. That was awesome.
Dan Lambert always does a good job.
Yeah,
he gets heat.
Yeah.
He's a heat magnet.
Oh my God! Just the Grand Slam as an entirety was something historic, man, and it was free.
And it was free. Hold on, I want to talk about the free thing in a second. I want to go back to Sting because I will talk about Sting for as long as I can. Because one day there will be no Sting, and all I can say is that once there was a guy named Sting that you guys don't know about, and I'll be old school Joe. But dude, the booking in that match, and all right, he said this shit. Nah, dog. This is my pop of the week. They made a pedestrian 62-year-old look more than competent. All right, he could have like walked in here and just kind of like went through things, and he didn't. He did not just fucking like go through motions. He could have been pedestrian. But in actuality, yo, he fucking exceeded expectations. And that's not even because the bar is low. He did a very good job. And he has since he started, yo. Put some fucking respect on his name, yo. 62 years old. And when he hyped up, you got hyped up.
Oh, yeah.
This is old school wrestling at its like fucking peak, at its glory. You got this guy, but like, yo, he knows how to build the crowd, right? Like, he knows how to get you behind him. Like, that's the game. The game, like him fucking getting hype and fucking doing the beating the chest and shit, like that's pageantry. That's where like those character things that fucking will ultimately like decide your destiny. And when you really think about it, when you really think about it, right? Like the Mortons and the Express, right? And they're still fucking doing their things, right? And they're like 100 years old and they're still out there, still rocking, right? A bunch of wrestlers still out there, still rocking, right? Because what? Like they started relying on credible moves, paced. You know, I know like we crack on Nick Aldis all the time, but he's a tremendous wrestler. He just can't work the mic for shit. But in the ring, I mean, he's vanilla as shit too. But that's what's gonna prolong his career, right? And when he had that match with Morton, that shit was a masterpiece. Yo. And you're like, I know this shit's gonna be good, right? But it could also be a disaster. And it was more than serviceable. It was very good.
And it's the little things and the extra that you do. So
the more things change, the more they stay the same. So while we're at a turning point here with wrestling, you gotta stay and rely on the fundamentals. And my pop of the week, I'm just gonna give to Grand Slam, just like Vic was about to say. Dog, just the whole show, the way it was booked, the way it was paced. Let's just go back to Bryan Danielson and Kenny Omega real quick for a sec. All right? The pace of that match was just so slow and methodical and bang, but intense. And it went and it went and it banged and it banged and it banged.
And it banged and it banged and it banged.
All right? Yo, dog, like that's what you want to see out of those guys. And the way that show just progressed and the way it was paced and it was good. And I mean, and then it's things that were not so good, but there were things that were very good. So we need more of that. We need more of that. So we call on you, leaders of wrestling.
Yes.
Stop with the flips and shit. Give us a story. Becky was right.
I think they're fine with the whole flippity dippity shit. I think we've grown past that. And that criticism is done. Anybody still on that hasn't watched since week 1 of Dynamite, it is more buffet style out there, and I want to see it more evenly divided. The talent I'm talking about on these shows, and hopefully they can keep momentum going, storyline wise, into the shows, and nothing affects that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all the damn time we have for you folks this week. I don't give a damn where you got your fix from.
Oh.
We know you got it. Shout out to the four holding it down. We're going to send your asses to Flex, my guy, out there in Chicago. But first, we're going to tell y'all what to do, Miss Jim.
Yeah, subscribe and like. Hit that button right now. All right, follow us on Twitch, SoundCloud, iTunes, your mother's basement. We're there as well. Check us out, man. We're really on every platform, and we're out here to have a good time. And yo, big things are coming. Big things are coming. So you might want to stay tuned, stay locked in, because it's only a matter of time before we unleash it. Consensual, of course.
Patience is a virtue. Stay tuned, stay tuned. So, Flex, I said what up. Show them the love. Appreciate y'all. 10 content. So,
peace.
And we rated.